So now we'll come on to one of my favourite coding aspects, and that is an if statement. So let's just delete all of that, and we'll start on our title again. And the good thing about if statements is, even if you've got no previous coding knowledge, you may still have an inclination when it comes to an if statement. And that's because if you've used a spreadsheet at work, something like Microsoft Excel, you may have well written an if statement before. So let me just jump onto Excel and show you what I mean by that. So over here in Excel then, you might be just familiar with obviously adding numbers together and summing numbers. So let's just put 2 and 2. Just for this exercise I'm going to put an equals here just to make it clear what we're trying to do. So we're saying 2 plus 2 equals, and in this cell here, B5, we're going to put the answer as 4, which is obviously correct, isn't it? 2 plus 2 equals 4. But down here though, we could put a little message to say whether the user's right or wrong, even in Excel. So how to do that? You'd write equals if open bracket, and again here look, you can see we have this little statement here. So we've got a logical test, the value of true, and the value of false. So that might just remind you of a boolean, the true and false values there. So what we say here is, look, if whatever's inputted the answer into cell B5, so say it's like an exam or a quiz you've developed for someone, so you want them to put in the answers 4 there correctly. So in cell B5, if that equals 4, then as it says there, you press a comma, and then in speech marks, you put something like this. You know, you're correct. End speech mark. Then also you can put a message if it's not true. So again, comma again, and then more speech marks here. Oops. And I'm going to put incorrect this time. So hopefully, if we delete that, it should change to incorrect, because 2 plus 2 equals nothing. It's not correct. If you put 1 there, it's incorrect. If you put 2 there, it's incorrect. If you put 3 there, it's incorrect. If you put 4 there, hopefully that message will change to you're correct. And correct spelt very wrong there, isn't it? So that's not correct, but there you go. 5, incorrect, incorrect. So the only answer you can put in there is 4, and then it will change that to you're correct. I'll just change that there. So that's basically an if statement. So if you remember how that worked basically up here was, you're saying if this is true, if B5 equals 4, that first comma you could say is then. So then do this. And that is write the text, you're correct. The second comma you could call otherwise. And if that's the case, then it's going to be incorrect. So that's an important thing to remember. So you've got sort of the condition, and then we want to do if that's true, and we want to do if that's false. So hopefully if you've never used Excel at your workplace, you might be familiar with an if statement. But it's very similar to code. In Excel it's not coding, it's more of an expression. But if we switch back to Swift now, I'll show you how to write an if statement in Swift. So let's stick on the same theme here again then of our sort of password login screen. So the first thing we need to do is actually create a password or declare it. So hopefully you can remember from this previous lecture, it's a variable. And we will leave it as a variable because it could change, of course, a password. You know, have to change it every month or something. And we'll set that to hello again. So we've now created our password as hello. Now if we want to write an if statement now then to say, you know, if the user successfully entered the correct password or entered the incorrect password, like you might see on a login screen on the website, you might say incorrect password or something's wrong, or you've logged in and it goes on to the next screen. So we use an if statement here. So a bit similar to Excel, if again, but no equal sign this time at the start. Then we're calling that variable password. So if password, and what we're going to do here actually, on this first line here, where it says var password equals hello, it's an equal sign, so we might say equals, but rather than saying equals, what that is actually doing is actually setting the variable password. So it's saying it's creating the variable called password, and it's setting the value of that to hello. And the reason why I say that is because if you put if password equals hello, it's not going to work. So in Swift code, it's a double equal sign. That means equals now. So if password equals hello, And then if you remember on Excel we had the 2 commas, and here we use the curly bracket. So if you type 1 and press enter, it'll create the other one for you. So we can put a line of code here, and we can put something like print, and then you have successfully logged in. So if you just run that code now then, so in effect it should come up with that message, you're successfully logged in, because the password is hello, and we're saying that the user entered password there, they did actually put hello into it, so it should say you have successfully logged in. Now if you remember on Excel, we can also put another message if it's not, and to do that we use something called else. So you type else in here, then another curly bracket, and then you can print another message here, print incorrect password. So if we change hello, say, to hello 2, so let's say the password is actually hello, but the user's entered hello 2. If we just play that again, hopefully we should get a message saying this time it's an incorrect password. And there you go. So that's very basically an if statement in Swift. So again, if you've got the condition, and you're saying if it's equal to whatever the password is here, then do this. Else, you can do this instead. Now the good thing about Swift is that it's not just one condition which is either true or false. So you could say here, if the password equals hello, then yeah, you're successfully logged in. But rather than just writing else and that's it, you could actually delete that. You can actually start a new if statement into the false part here. So we could put else if, and then curly bracket again. Oh sorry, else if password. And then you could say if this is equal now, let's say there's a master password for admin. We could put in admin here. And then we can put our brackets, and then we can put another message now. So print, let's put hello admin. So that might be the IT department can now log in. And then you can also then just put another else if you wanted to. And then just put incorrect. And I'll put speech marks because that's important. Incorrect password. So okay, let's just play that and see what happens then. And of course it should be an incorrect password as it is. So we've set the password here to hello. We're saying if the user has entered hello 2, then you've successfully logged in, but they haven't, have they? It's not correct, it's not hello. We're saying, well, if that's the case, that's fine. Perhaps they're admin. So if they've entered the word password as admin, then yeah, hello admin. Otherwise, again, the incorrect password. So if we just change that to admin, and this time when we play it, we should get a hello admin there, which we have. So hopefully you've understood that. That's really the basics of if statements. So if, condition, true or false, you can do different things. But also you can continue the if statement on. You can say else if. And again here, you could keep on doing it. You could have another else if and then another else if and go on and on for various different outcomes from your if statement. So, if you follow along nicely, now it's time for your challenge.